Okay, next drink we're going to make is a Manhattan. Another type of martini drink. And I want to talk to you a little bit about martinis because there's a bunch of them out there, and you need to know about the martini family of drinks. First one is a martini. We've already made two, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about them. The original martini was actually not the recipe that I just gave you. The original martini was a vermouth drink. It was mostly vermouth with a little bit of gin added to dry it out. And it was gin, make no mistake. A real martini is gin and vermouth. The juniper of the gin and the nuttiness of the vermouth combined to make the flavor of the drink that everybody loved. Now today, far and away, we sell more vodka martinis than anything else. So if you go in and order what I call an uncalled martini, you just say, give me a martini, it will probably make you a vodka martini. If you haven't had a gin martini, trust me, try one. They're terrific. Over the years, martinis have gotten drier and drier and drier, in part because it's really cool to say, give me a martini and make it dry. So now your standard, it's the truth, James Bond, right? The standard martini now is mostly gin or vodka with a little bit of vermouth, which is how we made them. So that's your martini, and you put olives in it. So if I take the same drink and instead of olives I add cocktail onions, what do we call that?
Gibson.
A Gibson. That's all it is. The same way a Cuba Libre was just a rum and coke with lime, a Gibson is just a martini where they use cocktail onions as a garnish instead of olives. Now, expanding that out, then we also made a gimlet. And a gimlet was basically a martini, but instead of vermouth, rather, what did we use?
Lime juice.
Lime juice, and we garnished it with a lime wedge. Expanding it out even further now, we're going to make a martini-type drink, but we're going to make it with bourbon. And because bourbon is a dark liquor, which they're generally sweeter than your white liquors because of the cask aging, they get a lot of that good flavor from the wood, we're going to make it with sweet vermouth instead of with dry vermouth. So, same recipe in proportions as a martini. I'm going to use 1.5 ounces of bourbon and 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth, and the garnish is going to be cherries because it's more appropriate to the sweet taste of the drink. Before we make that, though, I want to talk about one more that everybody knows, called a Cosmopolitan, right? One of the most popular drinks out there. Cosmopolitan actually took a non-martini drink and served it in a martini glass, and people refer to it now as a martini. Vodka, lime juice, and a splash of cranberry. That's the classic Cosmopolitan recipe. Sounds very similar to another drink that I think we mentioned earlier, one of the first mixed drinks we talked about with vodka and cranberry, which was what?
The Cape Cod.
The Cape Cod, which is also served, the garnish on a Cape Cod.
Lime.
Lime. So, if I take a Cape Cod, which is vodka cranberry with a slice of lime, and I just use more vodka and less cranberry and put it in one of these glasses, suddenly I have a Cosmopolitan. That's now the trend for a lot of the martinis. So a lot of the martinis that you will go out and buy really don't have anything to do with martinis. They're really just mixed drinks. They make them stronger. They serve them in a martini glass, and they charge you more for them. Who wants to come up and make a Manhattan? Come on!
I was going to escape.
Do it.
I just served the drinks, all right?
Yeah. Get up there. All right.
All right, now I know you're a career server, so I'm not going to help you through this too much.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Go ahead and make me a Manhattan. I'll just do a running commentary. Good. Nice big scoop of ice. Make sure you always use enough ice in the tin. If you're having a problem getting the drink to frost, and a lot of people do, it's only one of two things. One, you didn't put enough ice in the tin. Two, you're not shaking hard enough. How does this count, Christy?
It's a little
Please
light.
say yes.
Little
Please
light.
say good.
Little light.
Please say good. I'm trying to impress these people.
And sweet vermouth, the one with the red top. You can always tell sweet vermouth because it has a red top. Dry vermouth has a green top.
Try not to look angry while I say.
That's good. Nice pour, Justin.
Nice.
Good job.
Do my
Couple
best, thank
cherries
you.
and you're all set.
Now, cherries, I've seen them on picks and I've seen them in the bottom. Which?
I always put garnishes on picks. I can't stand sticking my finger in drinks. especially if I paid $10 for it. I want to keep my hands clean. I want to keep my fingers out of the drink. That's beautiful. Why don't you
Perfect.
take that back to the table?
Thank you very
Aaron?
Well done.
Good job.